Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Zombieland Gaming. We are back for episode number 20 of Satisfactory, and today we're getting into a pretty good sized factory. We are going to be building our supercomputers, which we are needing for, if you look up in the top right corner there, we've only got two more hub upgrades before we are done with hub upgrades, minus the last little bit of the space elevator. So today we are going to work on supercomputers, which meets the middle criteria, and then the fused modular frames, which is the leftmost piece up there, is going to come in the next episode. Fused modular frames. We're going to get into nitrogen gas, which is right over in that direction, which is going to be pretty fun to build. And today we'll actually see the building component that we haven't gotten a chance to use yet. For the nitrogen gas, we have actually used it on a crude oil node back where we're going to be building supercomputers. So I am up here just because, man, I love admiring the view. Oh, look at that right there. I see a power slug. We are out of power slugs. We need power slugs like nobody's business. So if we get enough built today, we are going to come up like this. And look, we got one right there. We got one right there. We got one over there. We definitely need to go power slug hunting. But I also wanted to stop up here because it's just, look at this. Look at all the stuff we have built. Oh, there's a power slug there and a power slug there. I'm just looking at all power slug there. There's so many power slugs. But there's our aluminum factory. And then if we look down over this direction, we can not really make out the battery. The battery is just behind this hill. We can kind of see a little bit of it peeking out there. But you'll notice we now have a new long extended platform here, and that is leading all the way off into that direction where all those refiners are, and our brand new component, which you can not really see behind this giant rock in our way. But that is going to be where we're going to be building our supercomputers. And the reason we're building it over there is because we had a crude oil node. So if we bring up our map, hide filters. So if we bring up our map, oh my goodness, look at how busy this is getting. So we've got our aluminum factory here. We've got our sulfuric acid and batteries, and then currently we are sitting like right up here, and we're overlooking down here. Well, right down here on this little juddy node here, we actually had a crude oil node on the ground, which requires a resource well pressurizer, and we're gonna see how that all functions and operates, and I will talk about it a little bit in this episode on how you set them up. It's gonna be the exact same thing when it comes to the nitrogen gas. But we actually happen to have a pure iron node and a pure deuterium node right there, right next to the oil. So the only thing I needed to bring over was copper. And so this copper node that we had here, that we had already wormed our line up and around this river here, I just took it right straight down here. So instead of taking the oil with all the pipes and everything all up into this area, I just said, screw it. Let's just go ahead and bring the copper down, since that's all we needed. And we'll make it from down there. So let's go ahead and drive on down. So we're kind of getting to a point now where I really need to start focus on getting power slugs, power shards, more power setup. This past week, I really didn't do anything in game per se, other than setting up this refinery back here, because, you know, we've seen me set up refineries before. But I am running out of power shards. Our power consumption is starting to get quite heavy when everything's up and running. Oh, another power slug right there. So I started working on developing the nuclear power. I haven't built anything in game, but I have started on paper, trying to figure out the entire process from... Well, that threw me off there for a second. I thought that was open into the water. So I've started working on designing the, I can't see nothing. How do I get around here? I'm stuck. We're stuck. Bad choices were made. I can't drive. I'm trying to get around here, for a reason. Oh God, I should have saw that coming. Anyway, nuclear power. So nuclear power, right? The big thing with nuclear power is you're going to have waste byproduct that will irradiate the entire area, including yourself. And you got to get rid of that. So I worked through 10 nuclear power plants, all the components, all the factories, all the stuff that we need in order to build a nuclear power plant. And then what happens once we get that uranium waste byproduct out. So then I worked on how to make plutonium fuel rods, which we could either then use the plutonium fuel rods to fuel even more nuclear power, or most likely what we're going to do is we're just going to awesome sink the plutonium fuel rods, because it'll give us quite a few points and we'll be able to get those last statues and stuff with them. So that's going to be the goal, and that's going to be coming probably in 2 or 3 episodes from now. There's some things that we need to unlock in order to be able to get the plutonium stuff, which is why we really need to push getting the fuse modular frames. But the reason I came over here first and not straight over there is because I have set something up back at our main hub, and I've never used these before, and I promised we would last episode, and we did not. So we are going to try something out, and it's gonna be kind of a little bit silly and kind of a waste of using this. But one, I want to see if you can do it, and two, this should show us how these things function. So we are going to take this output of batteries, and we're gonna do something with them. So let us go to what do we want? We want transportation. We want a drone port. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually set this drone port up here. And it doesn't really matter for this point, because we're gonna be deleting this in a little while. I just wanted to test this out. But you need both regular normal power. It connects up there. What does this thing take? It takes 100 megawatts of power. So do we have any power close and available to us? We should just right over here. Power, grab. Yoink! Bring you right about here. And we're gonna take this right here. So it takes batteries to power it, right? So at the other drone port, I have a storage chest set up on this outlet. So you can see there's an outlet here and an inlet, so you can put items in and take items out. But you also need to put in batteries. The batteries go right here. So we're gonna take the output of this, and we're just gonna split it. And we're gonna send both batteries to here to power the drones, you know, because the batteries essentially are going into the drone itself and then taking off, right? And then we're gonna have the batteries go into here as well. So we're gonna take this drone, power it with batteries, and then have it ship batteries to the other drone port to power that drone to then come back. So it's gonna be a little bit of circular logic here, but it should make a point of how these things work. We want to go into the input, so we'll just go right about here. We'll use the fastest belts possible, and I'm not even, like I said, worried about how this looks. We're just gonna boom, and actually we can just upgrade this one like this. All right, so we've got batteries going in. That's excellent. How does this look on the inside here? We can store 200 batteries here, which is good, which means that, oh, look at that split nice and efficiently. Cool. Okay, so now we need to rename this. So we will name this Battery Factory. Yes, that's nice and original. It's so original. And then this port needs to go to home base. Relevant ports, home base will then come back to here. So that should set up this drone once we put a drone down. Or actually, does that mean this drone that's, does it show me? Let's look at our map. Does it show a drone flying? Because we got a drone right here, right? Do I need to put a drone down on either side? All ports, home base, destination, this, status. Does it say en route? Status. Do I need to put 2 down? Do I need to put a drone down on either side? I wouldn't think I would need to. We would think that that drone over there is just going to come here. Oh yeah, look at, there it is. Look at this. It's flying. It's coming. Oh wow, that's actually dude, it navigates underneath the, oh my god. Oh god, cool. Well, all right, I'm excited about this. So this is actually working. Why am I moving so slowly? Let's get all the way up here. I want to see this thing incoming. Oh man, we need to put some lights over here so we can see it coming down. Where are you going to be coming from, guy? Where are you coming from? Here he is. Here he is. Look at this. Wow, he is taking a long route. Like, why didn't he just cut down straight across here? I wonder if, as time goes by, if there's, if they learn a certain route and become more and more efficient at getting here. Oh. Where's it coming from? Look, there he is. There he is. Oh, that's so cool. Are you going to clip through everything, my guy? Or are you going to... Wait, where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It works. It's like I knew what I was doing. I did not. I just put stuff together and had an idea. Look at this. How freaking cool. Do you like land, my guy? Oh, you do. Look at that. That's so loud. Can I jump on you? Oh God. No, we don't want to ride. We will ride it back later. Okay, so now, does this take items out? Okay, so we still have items coming in. And is it gonna, does this thing have an inventory? I can't see if this thing has an inventory. Oh my, look at that. Oh, that's so cool. So it basically takes, oh, wow. So it can take a full inventory. That is so dope. So basically he is going to fly, fill that other storage unit up, and then fly back here, and he'll keep flying probably until he fills that storage unit up, and then he'll just kind of circle around. That is so cool. Wow. Holy shit. Bye. Bye. I don't even know where you went. Oh, there you are. That is so freaking cool. Oh, and we're about to autosave. That is dope. That is the first vehicle I've used to transport items. Not a train, not a tractor or a truck. We used a drone. Nice. All right. Cool. So that's basically how drones work. So all I did, like I said, was I set up the same thing, but instead of it coming into an input here, I had the output just merging straight back into here. So I went to a storage chest and then outputted it to the batteries just to power it. And then that way we'll have batteries, back at the main base. That was the main purpose, is that way when we go to grab all our other items and goodies, we're also going to set one up over here at the aluminum factory, and maybe we'll set one up at the factories that are over just on the other side of the desert there. And that way we can just get all of our items coming from here. We'll get all our items going back to here with drones, because we really don't need more than a full inventory at a time. And that way we won't have to run around to all of the little spots, like especially like the computers. I don't ever go to the computers, this factory right here, because I have my walkway that comes right down here to the base, and then I have coming around along the waterfront and then in. So like I never go to the middle of the map where the computers are. So we definitely need to set one up there. That's awesome. That works really well. Cool. Drones, much approved. I like them. They're actually a lot faster than I expected them to be. So that's one of those things, right? Is I could make a conveyor belt going all the way back, but is it going to be faster than the conveyor belt? Which one? I mean, conveyor belts, the items will be all the way there, and they will continue to be all the way there. But I wonder if that drone's going to be a little tiny bit faster. You know what? We need to do something real fast. Tilde key, r.fog space 0. Boom. There we go. Now we can see a little bit better. I like the fog, but for the purposes of making this video, we need no fog. So this is obviously a pointless, big old, huge platform here. All of this mess will be getting cleaned up as we make things into our mega factory. But for the time being, I like having the ability to go everywhere. All right, so here we are. So this is going to be where we're going to make our supercomputer factory. It is going to be a 12x6 structure, 5 floors tall, 10 if you consider the sandwich layers, but I consider the sandwich layer part of that current layer. So we've got our iron down here, which technically we only need 60 of, and this is a pure node, so I haven't put any shards into it because I'm going to split it to where 360 comes off and then the other 60. That is not the right math. Or 240. 240. So 180. 180 is going to split off to go wherever the hell else we need, and then 60 is going to come up here. We've got, we'll talk about this in a second. I'm ignoring this on purpose. And then we've got our Caterium back over here, which I believe is a pure node. And I've actually increased it with 2 power slugs. We technically only need 240 out of this, so we're going to split this off, half of it being used for this factory, the other half going away. And then I believe what I did was I bought, yeah, right over here, right by the walkway here, is where the copper is coming up. And I believe it is pure node with 2 slugs in it as well. Yeah, so we only need 360 of that, so we're going to pull 120 off. And we'll probably pull 120 off back kind of closer to where the rest of the stuff is going to be. That is so cool, seeing that drone flying. And then that way we'll use the 360 for this factory. But this right here, this loud contraption, it shakes the whole screen. It's amazing. Is the resource well pressurizer. So what we have in here is this is kind of like the brains of all of these nodes that are around me. You have to place this down, put power into it, and then what it does is it pressurizes all of these little offshoot nodes right here. So if we were to remove the ground, you'll be able to see we've got like a little node right here, and then you can see the main node that it's sitting on. So basically, once you've powered the resource well pressurizer, then these extractors will become available for you to place. And as you can see, I was able to place them with foundations in their way, which is nice, which means I can cover it all up. And then all I did was I put these were all impure nodes, so they were only going to be like 30 per. So it's 30 times 6, so it's only 180. So by putting 3 power slugs into it, I'm actually getting 450 crude oil out of these 6 impure nodes. So that's pretty dope. And since our pipes are capable of carrying 600 meters cube per second, I just have all the pipes connecting in together to come into one route to this giant line of refineries here. And all the refineries are just coupling together and coming right out here for, I believe, 320? I think it's 320 plastic is coming out here. And then all I'm doing is I'm taking the heavy oil residue out, turning it into petroleum coke, and then sending the petroleum coke to an awesome sink like we've seen before and all the other things. All right, so this is going to require... I'm not using exact numbers. I'm actually using slightly a little bit more than what's required for 100% efficient. So we will actually be backing up all of the main resources just to guarantee that we're going to have enough to go into the assemblers and manufacturers. But we're basically going to start off with smelting. We're going to smelt the Caterium with 6 smelters, do the iron with 2 smelters, and then the copper with 12 smelters. That'll be the first layer. The second layer is going to be constructors, and we're going to make the quick wire with 7 constructors. 4 constructors making iron rods, and then those iron rods will swoop back down into the sandwich layer and come back up to 6 constructors making screws. Then we'll go to the next layer, which is going to be constructors again. There's a lot of constructors in this. 6 of them are going to make wire. Those wire are going to swoop back down in, go to 4 constructors making cable. And then some of the copper ore is also going to go to make copper sheets. And there's 12 constructors making copper sheets. Then that's going to go up to the next layer. And we're going to start combining our resources to make AI limiters. There's only 1 assembler for that. And then 6 assemblers making circuit boards, which is where all the plastic is going to. Most of it anyway. Some of it's going to computers, but the majority of it's going to make circuit boards. And then the final layer, our 5th layer, is going to be 2 manufacturers making the high-speed connectors, 2 making computers, and then finally the computers, the AI limiters, the high-speed connectors, and some more plastic are all going to go into making supercomputers. And it's going to be a whopping 1.875 computers a minute. So very, very slow supercomputer process. So let's go ahead and get our stuff started. We're building it right here. I hope I made a big enough platform. And let the time lapse commence. Whee! Well, hello everyone, welcome back. As you probably just saw, I just died. Oh my god, the boots, man. Sometimes you just like, you try to like come back and nothing works right. So we've made pretty good progress. I've gotten the smelteration done, making quick wire iron rods, screws, wire, cable, copper sheets, and I'm currently on the 4th layer, which is making the AI limiters and the circuit boards. But now I have to take a nice venture all the way back with no vehicle. And yeah, so I am making pretty good progress, but yeah, I now have to make my way all the hell the way back to the other side of the map. So I will see you back over there. But yeah, progress is being made. We're almost done with it. It's looking pretty good. Basically, my current issue is I'm having to worry about taking the extra plastic, the extra quick wire, and the extra screws? No, copper sheets up to the next level, which is going to require a little bit of finagling and a little bit of merging and splitting in order to get it off right, but we'll get it. So all right, I will see you at the end of the next time lapse, because I'm not going to make you have to walk with me this entire long distance. Oh god, the last little bit was a struggle. So I realized the mistake. I don't have enough crude oil. I essentially needed closer to 400 crude oil. I didn't need quite 400. I needed more like, what did I think? It was like 360 or something like that. We only have 320 being produced here, so I'm gonna need to bring some more crude oil over here or bring some plastic. So currently, we're gonna be a little bit underproducing, but maybe the circuit boards will keep up because we needed plastic for the circuit boards, for the supercomputers and the computers. So we're gonna be a little bit under because we're only making 320 rubber. So we're gonna be a little bit under, but so far it seems to be okay. But good grief, look at the size of this thing. Holy crap. And that kind of, as you probably noticed, I started scribbling on paper and breaking out the calculator on my phone and in-game. But good lord, look at this massive structure. I mean, holy crap. I mean, think of all the factories that we've built already. We've got an oil refinery. We've got a Caterium smelter going into quick wire. We've got iron ore going into iron ingots, into iron rods, into screws. We've got a copper smelting into wire, into copper sheets, into cable. We've got AI limiters, high-speed connectors, circuit boards, computers. All of those separate factories all going into making supercomputers. Just, it's ridiculous the process that this takes in order to get everything going. But so it's not bad. It actually came out looking nice and clean. The only layer that looks really higgledy-piggledy is the very, very top layer. So here's what supercomputers look like. They look like toolboxes. They kind of do. Not bad, though. Kind of cool looking. They actually look like they got TVs on top of them. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into it. So it was actually fairly easy. So we've just got our iron coming in and splitting out. We've got our Caterium coming in and splitting out. And then we've got our copper coming over here. Hopefully I have enough power on this side to use this. Oh, do I not have my... Nope. Put my hover pack back on. I love this thing. So you probably noticed, as long as I have power around, I can hover all over the place, which is absolutely amazing. So we've got our smelterations with the copper, the iron, and the Caterium, and it's all just going out that direction. Can I speed this up? Oh, yes, I can. And then our plastic is obviously just going straight up because it's not needed for any smelteration part. And then inside here, let's go ahead and duck down. This is actually, I mean, look at how clean this looks, too. I mean, we got so much open space. So our iron is basically coming in here, and then it's going into our four smelters, not smelters, constructors. No, it is. Wait, hold on. What is going on here? I'm confused. I'm compuzzled. I have no idea what's going on. Yes. Good lord. It takes more constructors to make screws than it does to make iron rods. It's vice versa for wire to cable. It takes more constructors for wire to make, you know, cable. So yeah, 4 constructors of iron, and then the iron comes back down into here and then worms its way going, iron rods are going in to make screws. And then on this side, the Caterium ingots are going in to make quick wire, so all of that is Caterium ingots. My brain is getting frazzled if you haven't noticed. Almost at 3-hour mark with this. Whew. You have a plan. You write a plan down, and then the plan goes to shit. Come on, autosave, hurry up. I want to keep showing my factory. Thank you. All right, so here we go. So now up on this level, you can see our screws being made, and then you can see where the iron rods go back down and in. And then over here, all our Caterium is coming out. So both our screws and our Caterium are coming out on this level right here. Nothing has to go out that way. Moving on to the next layer, we'll go ahead and just show the top here real fast. So this is the copper layer. So on this side, we're making 12 things of copper sheets. Over here, we're making 6 things or 8 things of wire. And so this is also another thing. I had realized I had come back in, since I'm not using the exact amount that is needed for this factory. I actually have an excess amount of copper versus what I normally needed. And on my little paper here, where I had done exact amounts, I had made a little tiny little marks for adding in constructors. And originally I thought I needed 7 constructors for wire. And then I realized, oh, I needed 8. So I wasn't able to do what I wanted to, where I had, like, you know, how I had the iron rods going back down in the middle. So what I ended up having to do is I took the wire back off this direction instead, and then wormed it back down here. And then it goes over into making cable. So then cable and copper sheets are both going up out over there, merging in with our wire and our screws. So not wire and screws and quick wire. So let's go ahead and get down here. So now you can start to see things are still fairly clean. You know, we got our wire coming all the way down through here, and then I'm just splitting it back. The ingots are splitting off right here. So it's actually still fairly clean. The only little portion that kind of intercedes on top of each other is this right here where the ingots have to come across. So not too big of a deal. It looks actually fairly clean. Let me see if I can't find a way to get underneath here. Yes, I can. And then here goes our copper. Sorry, not the copper, copper. So the copper goes across over into making wire, and then the wire comes back across. But then the copper for over here is all by itself. So it's actually fairly decent. And I'm just splitting it out, going straight through. I didn't even bother about making sure that it's like the exact amount going into each one. It's just, once it backs up, it'll be efficient. All right, so then on this layer, we've got all of the stuff coming up to our first set of assemblers. And here's where things start to get a little bit messy. Just because of how I had to bring everything over, and oh God, I really wish I could get over here. So with the AI limiters require the circuit boards and then also quick wire, right? Quick wire, is that what it is? Yeah, quick wire. So you've got that. There's only one assembler for the AI limiter, so all of the quick wire that is needed here comes up here. However, we need a whole bunch more quick wire for making the high-speed connectors. So all I have set up here is we have basically 400, I think. Yeah, we have 400 quick wire coming out, and I needed 325 for up above. So I've just got it split out in such a way that we have. Is it the 325? I think it's 325. Well, 315 technically, but I'm using 325. So I've just got it splitting out where that 400 splits to 200, the 200 splits to 100, the 100 splits to 50, and then I'm taking the 50, and they'll have two sets of 50, and then I'll split one into 25, merge 25 back in with the 50 going to the AI limiters, and then the 25, the 100, and the 200 from the original splits all merge together to make 375, and then I'm just taking it straight out there to go up to the next level with the manufacturers. I believe plastic comes in here, so plastic I also needed to do a little splitty, and essentially I'm going to upgrade the plastic in order to be 400 coming in. So all I did here was I've got it splitting into two, so 200 200. I split one of the 100s again, merge it back in with a 200, and I'm sending it up. No, I'm sending it out this way, and then 100 is going up to go to make computers, and I believe it's just going to computers and supercomputers, right? So yeah, so we've got it merging out to where 300 of the plastic is going out to all these circuit board assemblers, which are all right here, and then 100 is going up to the computers. So I just split it off right here and merged it all in together. So it was nice and simple. Getting in and out of this place is not nice and simple. So it looks like a little bit of a mess, but yeah, so you can see here, it's the 400 would be coming in if it was 400. It's only 320 now, but once it gets upgraded, this will work properly. So then it splits out, splits again, merges back in, 100 goes up that way, and then the rest go that way. Not too big of a deal. But here we have our AI limiter is then merging out. I could have taken it this way because we have, you know, nothing in the way here of coming up. But I like keeping all my outputs on one side. So it's going off that way, and then all our circuit boards are merging and going up as well. Now here's the final layer. Yay! Final layer. Good grief. So this is... I'm not even going to walk in here. This is just a disaster to get through because I have 5 manufacturers, and all the manufacturers require 3 to 4 inputs. The only one that only requires 3 is the high-speed connectors, and the high-speed connectors are quick wire, circuit boards, and cable. The computers require cable, circuit boards, plastic, and screws. The supercomputers requires the computers, the AI limiters, the high-speed connectors, and then plastic. So what I ended up doing, and like I said, I'm not even going to bother going in there. All I'm doing is splitting out to go wherever it needs to. And then I've got my high-speed connectors merging here, my computers merging here, and then they go back down in here to then go into the manufacturer for the supercomputers, and then our supercomputers are coming out. Eventually, I plan on making a tutorial for every single one of these, especially once I can figure out how to make them 100% efficient and the best place on the map to build them and all that sort of stuff. I'm going to do a layer by layer tutorial with all these, so it'll make more sense and won't be in a time lapse where you're like, what did you do? What did you do? We'll be able to actually see each layer spread out and what the circuit down below looks like. But yeah, so there we go. We got our supercomputers. So let's go ahead and get on down here. So we need 100 of these to help get ourselves up to the next tier. And how many do we have already? We have, a whopping, well, that's actually not bad at all, is it? No, take all. Ooh. Not bad, actually, 23. So it's producing relatively decently fast. So that's not too bad. We should be at 100, no problem. All right, so that is going to call it for today because we don't have any research to do. We don't have any upgrades that we can go do. I mean, there's no point in going to put these into the space elevator until we get the fused modular frames. Next episode is going to be all about nitrogen. We're going to go find the nitrogen gas, put our resource well pressurizer on it, get nitrogen moved over, and then we're going to go ahead and make nitric acid, and then take the nitric acid over into making fused modular frames. So it's going to be a pretty hefty episode. I'm going to get a lot of it out of the way in between episodes. Thankfully, I don't really have to clean this one up. I still have to clean the batteries up, obviously. But we are done here. And actually, you know what? I'm going to use my little... Oh, got him next to a power pole. Ooh. Keeping their power. Or we got a power pole right here. Let's come up here and see if we can't get a pretty cool picture for a thumbnail. And, oh God, we're running out of power here. Let's get one about like right there. Delete that. Stand here for just a second. All right, photo mode off and down. Nice, excellent. All right, well, hope you guys enjoyed this. We got to see the resource well pressurizer. We got to build a supercomputer factory, so we are definitely making progress forward. In between episodes, I'm gonna go gather a whole bunch of power slugs. Maybe I'll find some hard drives so we can actually do some hard drive research and get ready to bring everything over to the nitrogen gas. We're actually probably gonna build this factory down kind of near where the mega factory is gonna be, just because the nitrogen gas is pretty close and it's all downhill from there, so we don't have to worry about pumps and all that sort of stuff. So I will see you guys in the next episode. There might be like a boyfriend dungeon or undermine or something else in between now and then, but most likely I'm gonna be spending so much time on this getting prepared for the next section that there might not be another episode. So thank you everyone for tuning in. If you did like this, don't forget to hit like, subscribe. If you have anything that you want to see me do in game, don't forget to comment. Last episode of the Turing Complete, which we will be doing another episode of that. Last episode of Turing Complete, I showed all the games that I currently have on my computer. If you definitely want to see me do a series on one of those games or some game I don't own yet, definitely comment that down below. And share with the universe. And this is Zombo Skater saying ta-ta for now. Bye.